And welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our program is brought to you by Calhoun's. Folks, Christmas, obviously, Christmas parties and Christmas family gatherings are right around the corner, if not going on this week. Don't waste your time prepping the food. Get the best food in East Tennessee from Calhoun's. Take it right home with their holiday feed packs. You can order those online, turkey, dressing, all the sides, even desserts. Order now. You can go to the website right there, calhouns.com/holiday feed packs. You can also run by any of their locations, I'm sure, and ask about that. I had some cousins that did that over Thanksgiving and loved it. So that is a personal thumbs up from me. Calhoun's holiday packs. All right. I want to welcome in the next two members of our panel right here to discuss football today. We have longtime sports sourcer Bob Hodge, and right there Ryan Callahan from GoVols247.com. Gentlemen, the offensive coordinator search has gone silent. There was no news this week, basically. No Hugh Freeze, he's at Liberty. No Kendall Briles, that cooled. No Mike Yurcich, even though that was rumored to be hot and heavy. Always seemed odd to me. That one seemed like Yurcich was playing for a raise. But anyway, everything's gone quiet this week.
At Oklahoma State.
It is an Oklahoma State thing. Everything's kind of gone quiet at the moment, and it looks like you're not going to have anything done before the early signing period because it's not really – Ryan, you could tell us, you're the recruiting guru. It's not really hurt them on the recruiting trail, has it?
Not
much
really
at all?
No.
Okay. But my question here, a lot of people are saying this is the end of the world. Sky's falling. It's another example of how Tennessee's blown and ruined a search. My question is it a bad sign that this thing's dragged on past the early signing period? Or doesn't it just kind of depend on who they wind up with?
To me, it is not a bad sign. And I go back to the discussions you and I had when they hired, what was his name? Oh, yeah, Dooley. I wanted a quick hire. You said, no, hold off, get the best guy. Nope, hire him now.
Save the recruiting class.
Save the recruiting class. And I think this is sort of a similar situation. Get the right guy. Get the guy that's going to come in here, and him and Pruitt are going to be able to get along and work together. Some of the guys that people have been excited about, I thought, you don't run the offense that Pruitt seems to want to run.
Yeah.
So are you going to get to next September and they're shouting matches up in the coach's office again? So take your time, get the right guy, get a guy that fits.
I 100% agree. I think you got to get the right fit, especially because you're looking outside. It looks like this is going to be an external hire. If that's the case, you don't know these guys. You've never worked with them before, quite possibly. So you've got to figure out, like we saw with Tyson Helton, it wasn't a perfect fit. There were differences of opinion on some things. How's that whole dynamic going to work? I think you've got to figure out all that, and you can only do that through interviewing, through vetting, through talking to people who know the guy. You got to take time to get it right. And again, the ticking clock in everyone's head saying you've got to get it done fast, I don't think it's there because recruiting hasn't been affected at all. Take the time. And what if they're waiting on the season to end to get a guy who's not available right now? If that's the case, you definitely need to wait.
Vince?
Yeah, I think you have to find out who it is. But I think the more time goes by, the more likely they may have to go the internal route. That may be something they don't want to have to do. But if you're getting turned down a lot and you feel like the best route is to hire from within, I don't think that's the best route, but they may need to go there. So I think that's what makes it a little bit iffy potentially on who they could land. But I think you do have to judge it. And then also, are they going to let this hire, is Pruitt going to let him do his thing? Yeah, you don't have anyone with the reputation that Hugh Freeze did, but does that mean he's going to be more involved in the new hire, especially if it comes from within?
Yeah, I mean, the whole season last year, all he talked about was, well, I wouldn't have run that, but I'm not an offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do this, but I'm not an offensive coordinator. Then probably should stop questioning your offensive coordinator publicly. I wonder, and I said this last week on the show, Mike Stoll was here, and he said this might not be the destination job that people think it should be right now because of the talent level and because of the Helton situation. And I agreed wholeheartedly. I wonder if coaches aren't calling Ty Helton. I would. And I wonder if Ty Helton isn't calling other coaches to say, you don't want to deal with this. The problem I see is if Pruitt were a 10-year head coach and he could say, I didn't get along with that guy, but I got 3 other coordinators I got along with. Fine, call them, ask them. That's one thing.
Yeah.
You got one guy you've worked with.
Well,
and it didn't end well.
And I'll tell you what the key is for me. You need somebody that's called plays before.
Right.
You need somebody that's been in the situation, that's been in the moment. I don't know if nobody on the staff has called plays. I don't think they have.
Will Friend has been an offensive coordinator, but he did not call plays at Colorado State. Mike Bobo did. Now you have a guy down the layers who was an analyst, Joe Acevedo, who, and I'm guessing that's the pronunciation.
I believe so.
As soon as I pronounce something, it's usually no, that's Ozove.
Yeah.
But you have a guy who was at a lower level of football, who I think would be a daring chance, and he's one of these guys that's considered on the forefront of it. Basically, he's Mike Yurcich at Oklahoma State. But anyway, you don't have guys who've done it at the Division I level.
If somebody said you got to put your money where it's going, I think they're going to hire somebody that's still playing. That's just my guess.
Okay, so it's a sitting offensive coordinator.
I think it's a sitting college offensive coordinator. I don't think they go the NFL route, but I think they get somebody who's still playing this season.
The longer it goes, the more I wonder about Steve Sarkisian with the Falcons.
Yeah, that would not be popular. I think of Josh Gaddis at Alabama. He's a guy that's been coveted. He went after some head coaching positions. He turned down Maryland offensive coordinator. A lot of people want him. Appalachian State's hired their head coach, so that's a route that he didn't go. So I wonder if that Alabama relationship there, that could be one, and he's got some experience.
See, to me, I've said this from day one, get someone who has play calling experience, as you said, and get someone who's worked with Pruitt before. I think that's huge. If you can get someone that he knows he can work with, big plus, big plus. All right. Thank you, gentlemen. When we come back, Ryan and Vince here are going to start breaking down the early signing period, and we're actually going to look ahead toward February as well. How is this class stacking up? Is it coming together well? Position by position grades next.